Welcome back to Burn Peak. I'm Seth, and today we're gonna be doing something a little different, but kind of the same. Actually, I have on my Seth's Bike Hack shirt today because we're resurrecting an old friend from the channel, my Orange P7. A lot of you already know about this bike, you've been asking about it, and today is gonna be the final chapter in the P7's life on this channel. It's gonna find a new home, and we're gonna do something awesome with it. We're gonna take all these amazing parts, bring the bike into 2020, fix it up really nice, then we're gonna put it on eBay, auction it off, and whoever buys it, we're gonna donate the money to their trails. And today we're able to do all of that thanks to CompetitiveCyclist.com, who sponsored this video. All the parts we're gonna be using are from their website. You can purchase parts, accessories, bicycles, and get expert advice from people who live and breathe bike parts all day. And at the end of today's video, I'm gonna give you a coupon code that you can use to save some money on your first purchase. All right, the P7, usually when this comes up in the comments, the biggest thing that people have to say about it is how beautiful it is. And it is. It's a steel hardtail. It's made of chromoly. Steel hardtails are kind of niche these days. It's people who really like certain qualities about them that get them. You can build a lighter bike for less money out of aluminum. You can build a stiffer bike out of carbon, but it's not gonna be as pretty, it's not gonna have these sweet welds, and it's not gonna have the same ride quality. So when gazing upon this hardtail's beauty, one of the things that always burns a hole in my retina are all the cables that are around the frame, like this dropper cable right here. So today, we're gonna be putting a wireless dropper post on it. We're gonna be doing wireless shifting, and I'm gonna do what I can with the hoses to make them as neat as possible. Now, another thing about this bike, it comes with the infamous SRAM Guide RS brakes that had some serious problems a few years ago. If you pull either of these levers, they just kind of go in and sometimes don't go back out right. We just gotta take them off and replace them with something else. Now another thing, even though this suspension fork doesn't have a lot of hours on it, it's been sitting around for a long time, so I wanna make sure that the seals and the oil are all fresh. I've got a service kit, and we're gonna get this fork in tip-top shape before we send it off to its new home. And with that, I'm gonna start taking all the parts off so we can dig in. Yeah, these tires have plenty of tread left, but I'm gonna replace them because they've been sitting around for a while. We can use them for something else. I don't know what we're gonna see when we go in here. It's gonna be a bunch of dried up sealant. Ooh, these are not easy to get off. Oh yeah, I used Gorilla Tape in there back in the day. We're gonna have to clean these up. I'm the one always saying you shouldn't use a tire lever. Here I am. I don't know why I'm gagging, it's just old sealant. I don't know what kind of old sealant. Guys, I'm really bad with bad smells. I'm not gonna do good at changing diapers or anything like that, but I'm not gonna sell this bike with these tires, and I'm not gonna use these tires on another bike. These tires are gone. All right, tire number 2. Man, if there ever was a reason to not use Gorilla Tape, it's what happens with it like 4 years later. Works great while it's in there, but there's something to be said for rim tape. Maybe this one won't be as bad. Breathe in through your mouth and out through your mouth. Don't whiff it. I can't even smell it. I'm just thinking about it. So one thing I get sick of doing is taking off all these T25s right here. And yeah, there's an app for that. Look perfect. Don't worry, future bike owner. I'm going to scrub these rims down, put on new rim tape. I'm gonna deal with all that for you. WD-40 is actually a really good cleaner for bike frames. You know, this is not a new bike frame. It's in really good condition. I'm gonna get it as good as possible, but whoever buys this, you're not buying a brand new bike. You know, you'll find some imperfections here and there because it was ridden, was crashed. But I think when you're selling anything online, the best thing to do is be honest and show everything, put it all out there. Now, if you're doing business online once and you're never gonna do it again, you can just not show any of this. You can just disappear. I mean, it's just, look at how beautiful it is. Damn! All right, so now we're just gonna breeze through this fork service because it's gonna be me fumbling around and looking for tools and things, and not one of those repairs I can do smoothly and fluidly. How much oil do I have to put in it? Oh, nice and smooth. I've got a little bit of PTSD from the old sealant massacre. All right, we're at 10 PSI. I think we're in the safe zone. Let's listen for that pop. Oh boy, do we have a brand new cassette here. Let that eagle fly. All right, time to torque it down. 40. So for the brakes, we're gonna do Magura MT5s with a 203 in the front and a 180 in the rear. Now that is just enough oil slick to give your bike a little bit of bling, but not be completely out of style in like 3 years. Like I said, want to bring this bike into 2020. Tires are a little wider now, so I put what I thought was the widest tire I could get away with, and I did some estimating for that. This is the moment where things either work out or my day is completely ruined. Oh yeah, she clears it nice. Yeah, I might have even been able to go a little bit bigger. I've actually got to change the tension on this a little bit. So I broke a Maxell. Yeah, your boy Seth just doesn't really take too much care in the tension of the Maxell. But we can tap into the parts bin. I think I have a 1UP bolt-on axle that'll work with this. Nope, not the same thread. Why don't I just look at the size on it instead of fumbling around like this? Oh, they printed it, good. This is a perfect example of something you could ask competitive cyclists about. You could call them, you could live chat them, hey, what axle fits my bike? And they're probably gonna tell you, hey, do you have the old axle? And you're gonna say, yeah. And they're gonna say, hey, just look at it and read the little writing on it. And that's the axle you need. All right, cool, that was a close one. This one works. I gotta just be more careful and not rush. Didn't snap that one, but we could have. This is starting to look like a bike, and I'm starting to get really excited because it is going to be prettier than ever before. Let's get to putting all the fun stuff on. By the way, some of you might notice that my eye's all messed up. Might have been from a branch, I don't know, but yeah, Curtis didn't punch me in the face. This is just... So we're gonna install Magura MT Trails on here for brakes. They are gonna do great for this bike. I like to give just enough cable for the bars to spin around once. All right, we got the brakes hooked up. Let's throw the seat post in so we can get it on the stand like normal. So this is the dropper lever. Now, you would think that just pressing it would work this out of the box, but it doesn't. You have to link it up to the app. I'm sure it would help if I read the instructions, but like, I don't know, there's a button here, there's a button here. How hard could it be? Let's try pressing the button. What if we hold both buttons at the same time? Oh yeah, it did! Maybe I don't even have to use the app. Now I get to install my first Axis XX1 Eagle. It's called like 3 different things. So installing the derailleur, super easy. We gotta pop a chain in there. Look at that, one oil slick link. One thing that is kind of cool about having one oil slick master link is that you can always find it really easy. Here's the shifter. All right, so this just goes like this. All right, what are the chances this just pairs right up and shifts? Press that button, press this button. Whoa, it's a little off, but I think we can probably fix that. Let's look into the instructions. This explains how to use it. Very comprehensively, it tells you what each of the 2 buttons do. You'd think this is so comprehensive that it would explain to you how to adjust it, but it doesn't. I think I can use this as an opportunity to make sure today's sponsor is what they're all cracked up to be. So I'm gonna call them anonymously. Hopefully the sales rep doesn't recognize my voice. I'm gonna ask them what to do.
Thank you for calling Competitive Cyclist.
So I'm gonna have to like disguise my voice or something so they don't, you know, somebody might like watch the channel or something and they're gonna be suspicious. They're gonna behave themselves. I wanna catch them on their worst behavior.
Thank you for calling Competitive Cyclist. This is Justin. How can I help you today?
Hey man, I ordered one of those Axis shifters from you guys, and I know there's like not like a cable on it, but is there a way to like tighten the cable? Like it's not shifting up.
You mean the derailleur?
Yeah, the derailleur.
Yeah, I mean, you can tune that for sure. It says press and hold the shifter access button while pressing the shift panel.
Oh, okay.
And then what that does is it should shift it 2.5 millimeters in either direction.
Sweet. Thanks so
And then
much.
you can shift. Yeah, dude. Yeah, no worries.
Hey, I'm just gonna let you know, you were being recorded. We were just checking to see if you guys were helpful. And you looked it up and gave the answer and everything, and that was awesome.
Of course, man. Well, are you with SRAM then?
Let's see if this works. Shifts perfect now. You can adjust everything up here. We want to go a little looser in the cable, just hold the button and go to a smaller cog, just the tiniest bit. Look at that. Ooh, that's so crispy. Is this bike done? It might be done. Wait, it's not done. So this bike originally had a Seth's Bike Hack sticker on the seat tube, and I'm gonna include them in the box in case they wanna run it stock. So we have a black Berm Peak sticker for the top tube. No turning back now. I think I get a little too excited about these stickers, but they just came out so nice. It matches everything so perfectly. It looks like it was born there. This is awesome. There's only one thing left to do. We gotta stare at it. So it would seem to make sense for me to ride Berm Peak on this, but honestly, this bike has a very different geometry from my bikes, and I don't want to hit crazy tight technical jumps with it. Not safe for me, not safe for the bike. So I got a better idea. So we're here at Kanuga, and I'm about to take my last ride on the P7, and I have a feeling that some of you guys are maybe a little sad about that, but there's no reason to be. This thing's been sitting around a storage unit for 3 or 4 years, and so yeah, I'm actually gonna get to ride it and can't wait to see what it feels like. All right, so getting a feel for the bike, the shifting, all that, it feels good. Steel has great vibration damping qualities, and so it just feels really smooth. You don't hear any noise or anything like that. But the geometry is totally different from my hardtail, so it's taken me a little bit of time to get used to. That said, feels good. It's a rocket ship downhill, really stable in the air. I'm gonna go for another lap. So that was my last ever ride on the P7, and you probably won't be surprised to hear that it felt better than it ever has. I mean, totally dialed, everything felt amazing, not the slightest rattle or creak. Whoever gets this bike is gonna have a really great ride. So it's safe to say this P7 is ready to hit the trails again. By the end of this video, it's gonna be live on eBay and you're gonna be able to actually bid on it. And like I said, all the money from the sale is gonna go to the trails of the person who bought it. And while we do fix up a lot of bikes and try to give back around here, we wouldn't have been able to do something this big without competitive cyclists. I know this audience ranges from advanced riders all the way down to people who have never even ridden before, and it's nice to be able to get parts and accessories from someone you can actually talk to. And in this day and age, it's very rare that you can just pick up a phone and talk to an expert. So I know not all of you are looking to do thousands of dollars worth of upgrades like we did on the P7, but whatever your next project is, you can use the code below to get a discount on your first order. So keep an eye out on the auction, I've linked it below, and check out our second channel, Berm Peak Express, where we're gonna be posting the follow-up video for what happens with this bike on eBay. Anyway, I gotta take this bike apart and pack it up in a box. It's gonna be a little bit sad to see it go, but there's just a huge silver lining. So I hope you enjoyed this build as much as I did. Thanks again to Competitive Cyclist for sponsoring this video, and thanks for riding with me today. I'll see you next time. On another note, I think I figured out what happened to my eye. When I was climbing up here, I started to go like this to wipe sweat out of my eye, and yeah, I stopped myself because I think over the weekend I got poison ivy on my glove, and that would explain it.